If you or someone you know has diabetes, you may have built up an extra supply of test strips and lancets. That's where we come in. We'll buy the supplies that you don't need and resell them to those in need to prevent waste. Help us make diabetes management more affordable. Visit us at teststripswithaz.com.
Jason Witt on the program. He returns to action on Thursday night at Final Fight Championship 40. He takes on Roberto Neves. The Vanilla Gorilla is here, and he's got palm trees and beautiful sunshine behind him. How are you, man?
It's Vegas, baby. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. Yourself?
I'm doing great. Not many people ask that question back to me. I appreciate that, and I want to thank you for doing this so close to the fight. How are you feeling as we're just 2 days away from this one, and weigh-ins, I assume, are coming up tomorrow?
Wednesday tomorrow. I feel absolutely fantastic, to be honest with you. Short notice fight, but I'm always ready. My weight's good, and I just kind of ready to get it going.
How short of a notice was this? I heard it was like 2 weeks or so. How short of a notice was this fight?
2 weeks to the date.
2 weeks to the date.
Thursday. Yeah, signed the contract on Friday. So yeah.
It's interesting because you've won 2 in a row. You've won 7 out of your last 8. You've been on this nice run, and I assume you're looking to get to that next level. But taking a fight against a guy like Neves, a Nogueira guy, he's a wily veteran. Some may look at this as being sort of a risky proposition for a guy like yourself, a risky fight against a guy like that. Is this just the belief in yourself talking here? Is this a no guts, no glory approach to your career?
People can say what they want to say. I mean, it's you said it yourself. I believe in myself, and I know I'm going to win the fight. And at this point in my career, I got to take what fights I can get to that next level. And this is what I got to do. And that's I'm going to capitalize on it on Thursday.
How did this fight come together on short notice like this?
My manager Joe Wooster partied with him not too long ago, and I've been texting him memes every day of trying to get a fight, just annoying the crap out of him. And he finally sent me a text and said, "Hey, you want this fight?" And I no hesitation, I just said yes.
So it didn't matter if it was in Missouri or Vegas or anywhere. You were taking this fight no matter what.
Taking the fight no matter what.
There you go. Is Roberto a guy you've been familiar with in the past, or has he been someone you've kind of had to learn about along the way getting ready for this fight?
No, never heard of him. Don't know who he is. Honestly, didn't care much. Just another person in my way of what I want to do, and that's just my mindset.
I know you're a Glory MMA guy. When it comes to getting ready for fights like this, especially with short notice being 2 weeks, do you take the time to watch film on your opponent, or do you just focus on what you're going to do, what you need to do to get ready for this fight to be the best that you can be?
Yeah, of course. I got coaches like James Krause, Trey Ogden, people like that. I'll have them watch a little bit of film. I'll have them watch a little bit of film, and I'll watch some film, see what I'm doing, see if he has some tendencies. Just kind of, I like to visualize a lot about the fight and who I'm fighting and what I'm doing. So I really look at like the person, like what I feel like I'm fighting. So I do watch film just for that purpose. I let my coaches do game planning, and I just visualize throughout that.
What have you learned about Roberto along the way here?
Yeah, he's pretty basic. He's he's good everywhere, but he's not great everywhere. I'm skill levels above him. I know he's going to be able to handle my power. He's not going to be able to handle my athleticism. I just don't feel we're on the same level, and I feel like I will dominate him on Thursday.
Being a Glory MMA guy, you mentioned James and Ogden, and you're just surrounded by guys and gals who always seem to have fights coming up. So whether it be for the UFC or on the regional scene, like getting training partners who are getting ready for fights is not very hard to do at all for someone like you being at that gym. So who are some of the fighters specifically that have been getting you ready for this fight?
We train the same people all the time. We've had a lot of new people come in and out of the gym lately, which is great. But you always have the main people. You got James Krause, Trey Ogden, Grant Dawson's in there, Mike Breeden, he's a huge one. We got a lot of young up-and-comers like David Onama, Chuka Willis, people you might not have heard of. But, we got a solid gym. A lot of people don't know us, but we are. We have a solid group of people in the gym every single day, and we're all grinding together. And that's just kind of I think people understand once we make the scene, once we all get fights, and we got fights coming up. So I think they'll all understand once we kind of show out.
You're in very good spirits for someone who has to weigh in tomorrow. How much you got left to cut, before you hit the scales?
I fight at 70 for a reason. It's not a big cut for me. It's the reason I could take fights on 2 weeks' notice. I got about, I think, 9 pounds, which is nothing crazy. I still eating, still drinking. I still feel good. I'll cut weight tonight, a little bit tonight, rehydrate, eat a little bit of food tonight, and then cut the rest tomorrow and feel good. 70 is not a big cut for me. It's not hard. So, I feel great about it.
Well, that's good. You talked about how important visualization is. How do you see this all going down on Thursday? When you play this fight in your mind, when you see all the different variations of how it could go down, what's the consistent ending to the fight?
TKO round 1 or knockout round 1. I think I'll hit him with that overhand right. It's a big, powerful shot for me, and I think it'll end this night quickly.
Perfect world, everything goes the way you hope it will on Thursday night. You get a short night at the office, so to speak. Do you have something in mind for the rest of the year? I mean, fighting at 70, you talked about the importance of fighting at that weight class. You could take fights on short notice if you need to. Is there an organization, an opponent, another fight or two that you want to wrap up the year if all goes well on Thursday night? Like, where do you hope that all leads to?
UFC. That's it, man. Especially I hung out in the UFC Institute today. It's a place that I think it's spectacular. I'd love to come back more often. The UFC is just where I've wanted to be, and I feel that's where I will end up at the end of the year. I told Wooster, my manager, I want to take a couple fights, at least 2 more fights by the end of the year if that's possible. If not, then, we'll just keep on moving forward and keep on fighting until I do make it in the UFC. And that's just my goal, and I'm not going to quit until I get there.
Are you on their radar? Has there been any discussion over this past year about getting you there, or, stay ready, keep winning fights? Any conversations like that between you and your team in the UFC?
Yeah, I feel like there has been. I got a 15-5 record, about to be 16-5 Thursday. I'm a well-rounded fighter, and I got a lot of great attributes that I could bring to the UFC at 170 pounds. And I feel like it's not a contender series, a short notice fight in the UFC, whatever they bring, I'm ready for all of it.
Jason Witt, everybody, getting ready to take on Roberto Neves at Final Fight Championship 40 on Thursday night in Las Vegas, Nevada. Jason, really appreciate the time so close to the fight. Before we let you go, let the folks know where they can find you on the web, social media, shout-outs, anything else you want to get off your chest, man. The floor is yours.
Absolutely. Appreciate that. Instagram, _Vanilla Gorilla. I got a fight fan page, Jason Witt, the Vanilla Gorilla on Facebook. Those little things. Just huge shout out to my team and everybody that's kind of helped me along the way. I wouldn't be without everybody.
Thank you, Jason. All the best to you on Thursday. And again, appreciate the time so close to the fight.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate having you. Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. Thanks, brother.
Take it easy.